MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide number 1, Part 1. This is MacVoices. This edition of MacVoices is supported by Notion AI, the one tool that does it all. Try Notion AI for free at notion.com/MacVoices. Welcome to MacVoices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, this is what you've been waiting for all year. The MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide. We do these sessions with our friends at the end of the year, usually just as the shopping season starts for the holidays, to help you figure out what you would like to give or maybe get in the way of holiday gifts this year. These are always not only some of our most popular shows, but these are some of the most fun shows because we aren't arguing over anything. We're just picking stuff we really love. So the way this works is we have a panel here. We do 4 rounds of picks, 1 pick per round per person. That gives you, at least in theory, 16 different ideas for gifts for your holiday. We do several of these sessions, so this will not be the only gift guide, but this is the first one. And so this means that nobody has picked anything. There are no picks that have been reserved. Everything is on the table, and we're going to have some fun. Let's go around the room here, find out who's here, and then we'll get to it. Taking my screen in clockwise order, Mr. Mike Schmitz is up in the top right. Mike, good to see you as always. Thanks so much for being here.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to another gift guide.
Yes, and love the new new office layout. Looking good. Looking real good.
Thank you.
Real good. From across the pond, Mr. Bart Busschots is here. Bart, it's great to see you. I keep saying every year we got to do this more often, and we never seem to get it into our schedules. But you're here now.
Well, yeah, and Christmas can't start until I've been on with you, Chuck. So I know it's a little early, but the holiday season is now allowed to begin because I am here.
Yes, I love it. Thanks so much. Last but absolutely not least, Mr. Marty Jencius has joined us. Marty, it's great to have you as well.
Yeah, this is my first time Christmas guide show. This is going to be cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is the first time. And so I've spent some time this afternoon. You sent the notice out. I tried to find my Bigfoot Santa sweater to wear. I just could not get the decorations out in time. I was going to have those starlights along the back wall. But maybe another show, another time. But I'm really glad to be here. I think I have some good ideas of things that was easy to find because all I had to do was go through my Amazon shopping list for the year and run into some cool things.
Yeah. Well, I want to point out that I did think about this when I got dressed this morning. So now I'm masquerading as a candy cane. There you go. So that's that's the extent of my holiday decorations. So if it's okay with you, gentlemen, we're just going to keep the same order. And Mike, that gives you the very first pick of the 2024 MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide.
Oh, man, the first one. It's a lot of pressure. All right. Well, I'm going to pick something that I would be thrilled to receive as a Christmas gift. It's a little bit expensive, but you should probably know, having been to several Mac stocks with me by now, Chuck, that I am a bit of a coffee snob, to the point where I tend to travel with my own pour-over coffee gear because coffee shops in the area may or may not be up to my admittedly snobbish standards. There is a company that makes coffee gear called Fellow, and for a long time they've made these hipster-looking electric kettles, just like really nice, got a minimalist design aesthetic, just coffee gear for making your own pour-over coffee. And they have now shipped what I'm calling a coffee robot. It is called the Aiden Precision Coffee Maker, and this is essentially a automated pour-over machine. So if you like the idea of pour-over coffee, but you don't want to fiddle with the process, this thing basically simulates the pour-over and then you walk away from it after pushing a button. You come back and you've got delicious coffee. What makes this interesting for nerds like us is that there is an app that goes with this that allows you to basically customize every bit of the process. So you can set the exact temperature that you want the water warmed up to, or you can choose how long you want the bloom to be. You can create these different recipes, store them in the machine, and then ultimately the thing is you get up in the morning, you put the coffee grounds in, you push the button, and it follows the instructions and makes you delicious pour over coffee without you having to spend 15 minutes and fiddling with all the details. I've got an older version of something similar to this that I maybe have mentioned on a previous gift guide. And the second that machine breaks, I will be buying one of these. It looks really nice. I mean, it's all like matte black. It's machined really well. I mean, if you look at the web page, you can see they've got a whole bunch of different little animated things that talk about the quality of the construction. But I think that if you've got a coffee nerd in your life, they would be over the moon to receive the fellow Aiden.
Very nice. Mike, did you know that? Yeah, did you know that you have a brother in Ireland, and he's right below you on my screen? Because the only person I know that might be a bigger coffee nerd than you is Bart Busschots.
And ironically, for the first time ever, I don't have a coffee thing in one of my picks, but I've just given a bonus. So if you buy the $300 and something amazing looking machine, or if you want a slightly lower budget, Fellow do the most amazing little thing for $25. It's a replacement head for the bottom of an Aeropress. And instead of having to use replaceable paper filters, it's a stainless steel reusable filter that goes in the dishwasher. So it's completely dishwasher safe. And so if you're fed up with the Aeropress because of the paper filters, Fellow have the answer for a whopping $25.
Yeah, I've got one of those. Those are great.
I love them.
Yeah, as soon as you started out with coffee, I thought, oh, Bart's just jumping out of his seat. So, Bart, what's your first pick? And I'm kind of distressed that there are no coffee picks from you this year already. It's like, wow, what happened?
I actually have a lot of fun stuff I wanted to talk about, and coffee just wasn't. I didn't change anything because my coffee stuff was perfect last year, and I didn't touch anything. If it ain't broke, And I always do my picks from most expensive to least. So I was going to do a joke pick as my first pick, because the most fun tech thing I bought this year that I'm like a giant big child is my new Polestar 2. But at $50,000, it's probably not a good holiday gift unless someone would like to buy me one of them. So my real pick is way more practical. It is this microphone with this boom arm. They are both from Rode. It is the Podcaster USB. And I ended up buying two of these this year. I bought one as a congratulations present to my better half, who is back at university as a mature student and did amazingly well in exams. And as a present, because the gaming mic was bust, I bought one of these mics and this boom arm as a congratulations, well done in your exams. And I liked it so much, I went straight back to Amazon and I went, I'll have another one of those, please. It is just perfect. And because the boom arm and the mic have come together as a unit, the balance is just perfect. I can move it with my little finger and it doesn't budge an inch for hours on end. It's just perfect. And I went with the model that's both USB and XLR. So when I'm being all fancy podcastery, I can shove it into my Wave XLR and it works great. But if I need to travel or whatever, it's USB. So I can just shove a USB cable in it and work away. And I think it sounds good. It certainly sounds at least as good as the Audio Technica I had been using for many years. So I am extremely happy. Now, the two together, it's not 100% cheap. It's €270-ish for the pair, about €200 for the mic, and about sort of €80-ish for the boom arm. But I would say they're both well worth the money. And I am, like I say, so happy I bought them twice.
It sounds great. It really does. You bring up an interesting point that for folks that are buying a mic and a boom arm, buy the boom arm that matches the mic, because the balance is, yeah, you can get little weights to attach to a boom arm to try to make it heavier, but honestly, it's just not worth it. Buy the boom arm. They are not that expensive, most of them, and it will make you much, much happier. Coincidentally, I know someone that might be in the market for a new microphone. And they're on the panel with us.
I have a good microphone. It works on everything I do, except whenever we do eCam for some reason. I can't figure it out. So thanks for the warm invitation. I'm going to try and come up. I've got more expensive things later on, but I'm going to start with something for the proletariat. This is some people like in-ear headphones or earbuds. Some people like over-the-ear earbuds. I don't like either. In working in radio for years, we had over-the-ear headphones. I would always take one off my ear and put it back behind my head. And the reason being is if I have it over-the-ear headphones, I'm tempted to start shouting into the microphone so I can hear myself. And when I do that, that reverberates inside my empty head. And the same sort of thing happens with in-ear headphones. So my first pick is OpenRun SHOKZ bone conduction headphones. And I use those for all of my podcasting because I can pay attention to not because I'm out running marathons. They're really good for people who are outside exercising so they can have some contextual awareness of what's going around them. But simply, I can hear the level of my voice as I'm speaking it without any interruption of reverberation or things going inside your head. Now, the OpenRun Pro 2s run around $180. And this is SHOKZ, SHOKZ, I think it is. And then you can get just the plain OpenRun for $130. But if you're not sold on this, try the OpenMove. The OpenMove is at $80, so you've got an $80 entrance point on it. Most everyone that I have suggested these to who are doing podcasts or doing Zoom for teaching and such love them. And, they take some getting used to, but the sound quality is really pretty good. Now, do I want to listen to high fidelity music through it? Probably not, but I have tinnitus anyway, so high fidelity means nothing to me with that. But for comfort, for light, and for being aware of the context when the dog is barking downstairs or something else is going on in the household, I like the bone conduction headphones. So that's my first pick. It's SHOKZ.com. And take a look at them, and I don't think you'll be disappointed.
These are great. I have a pair of these. I use them when I run, specifically because I run downtown and I don't want to get sideswiped by a car that I didn't hear. But I can definitely see how these would be great in a lot of other contexts.
Yeah, I started using them really during COVID, and I was constantly teaching online, and developed sort of like a rash from having in the earbuds that I was using. So somebody suggested these, and I switched over and really haven't used them other devices since.
I think I'm on my third pair from SHOKZ. I think at the moment I have Aeropex, which I think must be the model just before the OpenRuns. And I had so many of them before. I use them for cycling because it means I can listen to podcasts without getting run over. It's amazing how well, how it's like magic. It's like there's an extra person talking into your ear who's just standing next to you because nothing is blocked off. And they're so comfortable. I have been known to run up and down the stairs twice going, where are my headphones? Where are my headphones? As the better half laughs at me going, on your head. They're bright blue. They're on your head.
Okay, I'll make it unanimous because I have a set of these as well, and they are amazing. I use the AirPods for this, but the SHOKZ, for all the reasons that everyone else has said. But yeah, I'm with you, Marty. And I do like high quality music, and it's listenable. It's not great, but for spoken word audiobooks and podcasts, it just doesn't get any better. So, all right, good pick. So my first round pick, as you can tell from my background, I have a bit of a monitor fetish. And I really love, having a lot of workspace, and I lose that when I travel. And in fact, I just took a business trip, and, just trying to work off even a 16-inch MacBook Pro starts to feel kind of cramped when you're used to what's behind me. So this summer I bought I hope I'm going to pronounce it, the Busschots portable monitor. It's a 15.6 USB-C portable monitor, 1080p, that plugs in and acts just like a monitor. Now, it's 1080p, so you can get 4K models, but they're a bit more expensive. I paid a whole lot less than $100 for this, and it works wonderfully. The speakers on it are good. They're not great, but the MacBook is usually sitting right there, so what difference does it make? And I've comfortably watched movies on it, as opposed to having it on the computer screen, and been very happy with it. So it's one of those things that I wouldn't hesitate if I were going to experiment with a second monitor for any of my other machines. And before I buy something like what's in the back of me, if I just wanted it as a place to stick documents or whatever for reference, I would not hesitate to get one of these. I've been very tempted to pick up a second one, and I'll be watching the sales over the holidays, so that then I could travel with a 3-monitor setup. And it's really, I don't know exactly what the weight is, but it's not that big a deal. I mean, I can wave it around here at you. So it's one of those, this particular model, there are a bunch of them out there. They all use the same stock photography showing them off. The only thing I'll tell you is I can vouch for this one. The reviews on some of the others have not been great, but for under $100, and sometimes way under $100, you can add a second monitor, maybe even a third monitor to your setup. So I would encourage you to check it out.
Yeah, I have one right here. It's not the same brand. Mine is an Arzopa or what, I don't even know how you say it, but it was under $100, 1080p, 16-inch monitor. And I love this thing. I bought it because I didn't want a big monitor in front of me for this, this YouTube shot. And I've been pleasantly surprised at how functional this thing is.
Yeah, it's funny. That was sort of my big surprise, because I've become a bit of a snob when it comes to 4K monitors. And so 1080p, it's like, oh, all right, for that price, I'll try it. And I was delighted with, just having that extra space. So feel free. They're cheap. Buy 2 or 3.
Yeah, I bought one, and Chuck, you talk about the portability of them. I'm carrying my laptop in a over-the-shoulder bag, and it's just as easy to slip one of those monitors in right next to it. Adds a little weight to it, obviously, but then bam, you've got 2 monitors to work with in your workspace.
Yeah, the only, if there was a problem with it, I did have a little bit of a challenge at times by using the MacBook Pro as the power source, because it does come with a separate power adapter. And when it was acting a little flaky, plug that in, and it was no problem. And it hasn't kept me from doing it. It just means that if I really feel like I'm going to be somewhere for an extended period of time, I will make sure I have the power adapter with me. But other than that, you plug it in, and it's just like any other monitor. Today's edition of MacVoices is supported by Notion AI, the one tool that does it all. Try Notion for free at notion.com/MacVoices. The holidays are bearing down on us, and you're feeling stressed because there's so many competing priorities and so much to get done. You need help. You need Notion. The new Notion AI is a single AI tool that does it all. Search across Notion and other apps, generate docs in your own style, analyze PDFs and images, and chat with you about anything. That means it can help you organize your holiday social schedule, end-of-year deadlines, gift-giving lists, last meeting of the year agendas, and even the holiday recipes to keep everyone fed and happy. But Notion isn't just good for this time of year. It helps keep me organized and on track all year round. And it isn't an island by itself. Notion connects to other powerful information sources like GPT-4 and Claude, so you get the benefits of all those services in one place. Those are just a few of the reasons that Notion should be in your stocking this year. But to get a head start, try Notion for free when you go to notion.com/MacVoices. That's all lowercase letters, notion.com/MacVoices, to try the powerful, easy-to-use Notion AI today. And when you use my link, you're supporting my show. Notion.com/MacVoices. Thanks to Notion for their support of MacVoices. All right, that's round one. Hopefully we've spent some people's money or made people happy or both. Mike, what do you have for round two?
All right, so I have something that is currently available for pre-order, but it is so cool that I have to mention it. I am of a certain age where the Nintendo 64 was the video game system. I cannot even count the number of hours I have sunk into games like GoldenEye and Mario Kart 64, Wave Race. And there is a company called Analog that is basically developing modern systems that play these old cartridges. They've got one for the Game Boy. I think they've got one for like a Super Nintendo and a Sega Genesis. They have just announced the Analog 3D. And this is a $250 system that will play all of the old N64 cartridges, but will display the graphics in 4K resolution, which just sounds amazing to me. And I can't wait. As soon as this is available, I'm going to buy one of these. We actually still have a Nintendo 64 at home that my kids will play on, and they have fun playing the original Super Smash Brothers and stuff like that. But we have the Nintendo 64 with the old red, white, and yellow plugs and modern TVs. There wasn't an easy way to hook that up, so it's just been collecting dust on a shelf in the basement for quite a while. I am really looking forward to getting back into a lot of these Nintendo 64 games with this Analog 3D, and I can't wait to see what they look like in 4K. I have seen a lot of things try to upscale graphics and things like that, and they kind of have a unique approach to this. They don't have any like screenshots of games running on their website or anything like that, but they make it sound like they're not just doing what all of the other systems will do, and upscaling the graphics. It looks like they're trying to. They've got a whole bunch of settings and things like that, which you can see in some of the screenshots. They've got a whole OS that goes into actually running these cartridges. And I've seen some of the stuff that they've made, and they've done a pretty decent job with some of the like the Game Boy stuff and the Super Nintendo stuff. So yeah, this is perfect for Nintendo 64 nostalgic video game nerds like myself.
I can't comment on it because I'm not a gamer. So, but the idea of taking the graphics and converting them to 4K is very intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and they have their own controllers that you can use with it. But they also have the 4 ports in the front, like the old Nintendo 64 did. So if you have your original controllers, which are those weird like tripod-looking ones with the 3 arms. I know a lot of people who hated those. I loved them. There's just something about those. You can bring that, and I don't know. If you're going to define me as a gamer, I think that is the wrong application of the term. Gamer means something totally different at this point, this point in history. But I do like playing some of these older games every once in a while. And the Nintendo 64 specifically was a fun system because you could get a bunch of friends together. You could play with 4 people, a lot of split screen, like Mario Kart, GoldenEye I mentioned. That was the first system that really made it easy to play with a group of people. And so I think if you have any sort of nostalgia for this stuff or just kind of into the retro gaming type stuff, I can see this being like a fun party thing. Assuming that it works, I guess. But based on what I've seen from Analog so far, I think this is the company I would trust to do something like this.
Interesting. Anybody else in the market for a Nintendo? Bart? Marty?
I'm not much of a gamer, although I have a game option that I might share.
Okay.
For me, it would be to give as a gift to my darling beloved would definitely get use out of such things.
Okay. Nice. Report back to us, Mike, once you get your hands on it.
All right.
Bart, round 2.
Okay, so I am known as being a bit of an Apple Watch fan, and I am known as being a bit of an Apple Watch strap fan. I counted recently, I have 30 of them. And my general rule is don't spend more than $50. In fact, most of them are about $20, which is why people like my opinions on these things, because it's cheap. I overspent a little bit after Apple's last keynote by about €200 because €219 is what I spent on the titanium Milanese loop for the Apple Watch Ultra. And I have never spent this much on a strap ever. And it is the most amazing thing. As soon as it arrived, the better half looked at it and was like, oh, wow, that's such a nice piece of jewelry. Can I have one? I was like, well, it won't fit on your watch. And you do know it's €219. And suddenly I was like, yeah, maybe not. The original Milanese loop was very fragile and delicate. The links are very small on this, but they feel so strong, and the tolerance on them is unbelievable. They are within like the teeniest of tiniest of fractions of a millimeter precision here. It's almost magical how they flow and yet feel like a solid piece of metal. And the biggest thing I think that was wrong with the original one was that it was a magnetic clasp, and so it wouldn't stay put. I know Allison, who you don't like us mentioning, bought one years ago, and it wouldn't even stay put while, just walking, let alone doing any sort of exercise. But what they've done here with this one is what I think is the best way to do straps. Infinitely adjustable, but in a lockable way. So you can have it be picture perfect, but you can lock it in place. So basically you have a quick release clasp, which means you can take it off straight away, but it hooks into a metal piece that is movable. You lift up that little tab, and then you can slide that metal piece and then lock it in place. And so it's really easy to put on and off. It's really solid to have on, and it's always exactly the right size. And it is so comfortable despite being titanium. And I have worn it in rain, sun, everything, and it is just perfect, and it stands up to it all, and you come home and it looks absolutely amazing, just like when you left. So I have never spent this much on a strap before, and I hope not to for some time, but wow, what a lovely strap.
Wish you hadn't shown me that part.
Yeah.
I'm very much a fan of the Milanese for the very reason you mentioned, the idea that you can just adjust them, just to fit your wrist. But I only have a magnetic, and the idea of being able to lock it down is really nice. The one I'm wearing right now has not let me down, but there's always a hesitation, especially if I'm doing something really active, that could it come loose. So, and plus the fact that it looks really, really good.
Oh, and it feels even nicer than it looks. And in the flesh, it's amazing. And it is the perfect. So I have natural titanium watch. So it's the natural titanium. It blends in perfectly. It fits on a non-Apple Watch Ultra if it's the bigger model. because all the Apple Watch Ultra straps fit on the bigger model. It fit on my Series 6 perfectly, but that's bright blue, so it looked a bit silly, but it did fit. And there is also a black version of this one, so that probably would pair better with, if the watch wasn't the same color, if the watch wasn't titanium color, the black one would pair better, I think.
And this from a man who has 30-something watch bands. So,
yeah. And I wear them all.
He's taken a lot of time to research this, and now he found a really good one. All right. Marty, you're up.
I am going to cheat a little bit here.
Okay.
I told you I had a big ticket item, and it's really not a item. It is a series of items, which means y'all have a choice wherever you want to go. I'm suggesting the gift this season is going to be AR and VR. So the three items to consider is the Ray-Ban Meta Wayfarers, which is just about the cost of Bart's watch band, $299. You can get and that I think is just fun glasses to walk around. I have a pair. It shoots really pretty good video. And it's fairly responsive in terms of describing the areas you're in or looking things up. The second level, and this is for the gamers, maybe for Mike, although Mike doesn't define himself as a gamer, is the Quest 3S. This is the lowest end cost model of the Meta Quest. And there's a little that they sacrifice in terms of resolution, but you get the full Meta Quest experience with it for people who want to do games and want to get into that AR VR combination. And then, of course, the product that I do a show on, the Apple Vision Pro, $3,500 if you don't know the price. People like to talk about the price a lot. But that is more of a combination AR, VR, but really a computing device. So those are, my encouragement is to get into AR, VR this holiday season. And I think these are going to be the things that people are going after.
Interesting. Do you have the Wayfarers?
Yep.
Okay. And how do you feel about them as far as their functionality goes?
I feel less dorky when I'm wearing them. Now, I'll put them on right now, and you could say, no, don't skip that. You look dorky. But I feel like I can wear them in public. I have gradient lenses in them, so I can wear them in sun settings, and that's in sunny areas, and that's pretty good. I shot some video with it, was pretty impressed with the quality of the video that came out of it. Used it to identify public spaces and asking Meta to tell me what was it that I'm looking at, things like that. And it's pretty good with giving back information. It's not great. It doesn't give you more that you want, but it's real brief. But yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, this is my thing now. So this is why I'm getting into all levels of this AR, VR stuff, including these smart glasses.
Very nice. So my second round pick, I'm stealing this. This is a recommendation that Kelly Gamot gave me, and so I'm stealing it because she's not here on the show, and she'll be upset with me, I'm sure, that I did. But this is a power bank from Lysen, Lysen. It's a 10,000 milliamp, 22.5 power bank. It comes in white, and what made this distinct from some of the others is that this has one really nice feature and one that is essential. The nice feature is that it shows you on a little LED display how much charge is left in the bank by percentage. So no more 1, 2, 3 lights or trying to figure it out. You know exactly how much you have. But the killer feature, and the reason that I immediately bought this and stuck it in my backpack, is that it not only has a built-in USB-C cable with it that kind of replugs in and can act like a handle, but it also has a place that you can charge your Apple Watch along with your phone at the same time. And that just is it, because I've had separate watch chargers. You carry the Apple cable around, and that can become just a hassle. This is an all-in-one package that I've been in situations where somebody says, "Oh, my watch is dying," and I pull this out and just give them 10 or 15 minutes of charge, and that's good enough to get them back to being able to get through the rest of the day. So, and the thing is, right now on Amazon, this is priced at $30, $28.49. So it's very, very affordable. I used to buy the biggest power bank I could find, and then I realized, you know what? I'm probably not going to get stuck on a desert island for 3 weeks. I just need something to top off my devices, for the rest of the day, or help me power through an extra long meeting or something. And so I've kind of tended more toward the MagSafe things that can attach to your phone, and that's what this will do too. It can plug in or do MagSafe charging, but just the idea that it's small, it's not that heavy, and it's also not that expensive. So it's the licensed MagSafe wireless power bank that I think you will really, really enjoy. We'll be back next time with part 2 of the first MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide. Meanwhile, I wanted to remind you that there in the show notes, there will be links to all the products that are picked in all of the gift guide shows, of course, individually, but also there's a master page on the MacVoices website under the news or blog section. And we also flip all of the product picks into the MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide 2024 magazine that you can access on Flipboard via RSS or on the web. And again, all those links are in the show notes. I'm Chuck Joyner. We'll be back with more gift ideas next time. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices, or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you MacVoices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.